Hey guys, Ranjin here, bringing you a stock of commentary. This is going to be the winners match in Group H with round 32 of the Hana Daetoo MSL 2010 spring season. This will be between Bisu and Shuttle, and the colors are very close to each other, and that's annoying, but what are you going to do? This is going to be on odd eye 2. We're going to have Shuttle at the upper left-hand position at the 11 o'clock as the yellow protoss. We're going to have Bisu at the bottom right position as the, okay, they changed it. It's a red protoss, 5 o'clock position, bottom right. Sponsored by Pocari Sweat and Craze Burgers. GGO, nice. Pocari Sweat, I've heard of that somewhere. Where am I? Pocari Sweat, Pocari, I don't know. I've heard of that somewhere before, but anyway, sinking. 39, 40, 41. Pocari Sweat, I swear to God, it sounds familiar. I don't know why, and it kind of weirds me out that it sounds familiar. Anyway, yet again, sorry this is coming in late, but, you know, especially being the weekend, I tend to try to have a semblance of a life, you know, spending time with a girlfriend, doing some school crap, you know, got finals coming up and all of that jazz. I'm not the most ambitious person on the planet when it comes to finals. You know, I don't study to death for every single final. Only the finals I really feel like I want to do well and I feel I can do well, I go around and study like crazy. But some other finals where I don't really care that much about a subject, as long as I pass it with the semblance of a decent performance, I'm okay. So I just kind of I'll study for it, but you know, I'll still live a life as I'm doing so. Anyway, enough about my own personal life and my views on studies and such. This is Shuttle and Bisu. Shuttle played a pretty decent match in the first set, and Bisu and Movie also gave us a darn nice game of StarCraft, but here we're going to see both players going for gateway into some layers, so both players are going to just play good old standard. We're going to see whether this just goes into good old Goon Reaver, and Shuttle actually going to block off his ramp with one of his probe, going to make sure Bisu does not come up. I'm wondering whether this is because he's trying to go for some funky tech, or whether just trying to basically trying to catch Bisu off guard. Bisu almost managing. Bisu, of course, very good with his probe micro. Desperately trying to get up, and he does. No hiding there. And no hiding there for Shuttle. No way. It's not going to happen. We see the Zealot also coming up there for Bisu. Probably going to see the same on the opposite side for Shuttle. One Zealot. We're going to see whether he gets a second one out there as well. Subnau's core coming up. So yeah, pretty much mirror builds so far. Exact mirror builds. Bisu, what, half a second behind or so. Second behind, but it's not really going to become that big a factor here. Just going to see which guy. Of course, very important here for Bisu that he's gotten that scout inside, and he's getting it harassed. He's gotten it hit, but he's still full health, and the shields, of course, recover, so he can still keep that alive for quite a while until the initial Dragoon from his opponent comes out. Still don't just see a scout for a Shuttle coming in on the opposite side. So we're going to see whether that happens. Bisu actually trying to be getting stuck apparently there a little bit from the gas mining, trying to maybe delay the gas mining just a little bit by a couple of seconds. Seconds a lot now out there for Shuttle. So he's either going to have to wait on his Goon or get or pincer that probe inside. Now Bisu does have one Zealot on the ramp. Let's see if he gets a second one there out there as well, but he's going to be able to blockade. And I still don't see a scout coming out there for Shuttle. I'm wondering whether he's just going to trust that Bisu is going to play good old standard against him and just plop down his goons, plop down his observatory before robotics facility, and hope that it all works out. You know, basically, if he's going to go for observatory build, then not really much that Bisu would be able to do would surprise me. He's going to go for quick observatory after this initial goon, which he's apparently not. Okay, they're sending out his probe alongside two Zealots. So he's going to go out there, be a little bit aggressive. Going to try to make sure he gets that probe inside. Could have even, has his Dragoon moving out at the front as well, so he's going to definitely try to get that in there. Going around a little bit, spotting for cheese with that probe, making sure that he doesn't fall prey to something funky and devious. Bisu getting a range upgrade on his Goon alongside. But yeah, if the scout is very late for Shuttle, but if he is going for observatory before anything else, he would have probably been able to counter a DT build. DTs would have been able to get in there, maybe pick off a couple probes. It just depends on the timings overall. Not altogether too sure. Bisu going to actually put down an expansion. He's going to play a little bit risky. Going to hope that he's going to be able to get a decent amount of troops, and he's actually been the player here that is going to try to forego Reaver. Is going to be able to pick off the scout though, so he's going to be able to deny going to be able to not deny information, deny very important information to Shuttle. Shuttle's not going to know that Bisu going for an expansion, so he's most likely going to be assuming that his opponent's going for troops instead. He's going to put down his own expansion. Had an observatory out there, but still, I feel because Bisu went for this his nexus before he went for some tech, he's going to have some troop advantage. He's going to have more troops down the ground. Does have a robotics facility up, and he's going to be able to pump more dragoons for more gateways. But unfortunately for him, if Shuttle catches him at just the right moment, he'll be able to push out. If he gets right after that observer, if he gets a Shuttle and Reaver out there alongside all of his dragoons, goes out there, he'll be able to barrel down on Bisu and push him all the way back, and even take out his natural expansion. As long as Bisu micros, it's going to be very important for Bisu to micro well, fight back, and counter what Shuttle's going to be going for, because he is going to have his initial observatory. Still don't see robotic support bait coming up yet. So I'm wondering whether he's actually not going to go for that. But although generally in PvP, when you do have your observers out there, you generally just follow it up with Reavers anyway, because that's just the good old standard PvP. You don't want to invest too much in tech, otherwise you can get landed in a very bad position like Bisu did in the game against Movie, where Movie came in, caught him as he was teching, so caught him overall in a very bad position. Bisu also going to go for observatory before anything else. Going to go out there try to get the scouting, because he did have the early scout, but he doesn't really know exactly what kind of tech his opponent's going for or anything of the sort. Still don't see a robotic support bay out there for Shuttle. He does have one gateway less than Bisu. Bisu's earlier next is giving him that advantage. Actually going to go for Citadel over Dune, so he might be going for High Templar instead. The opposite side, Bisu's actually going to go for robotic support, so he's going to go for Reavers. Wondering what Shuttle's actually going to go for here. Whether he's going to try to win this with Templar, whether he's going to go... I don't think this is going to be teased. This is quite a bit late to try to go for some DT play, because at this point you have to assume your opponent will have some observers out there. It's going to be very, very dangerous to try to go for some sort of DT play, unless you're going to go for some sort of drop. DT drop might still be highly successful. Shuttle at this moment going to move out with a decent group of Dragoons alongside observers. Going to go out there. Has meanwhile one observer coming inside of Bisu's natural expansion. Going to spot that pile in there and actually not moving closer, possibly fearing being caught. Meanwhile, going to go out there and just clear out that 12 o'clock position, 11:30 position. Make sure there's nothing there to prevent anything from happening. Bisu meanwhile also has a fairly sizable Dragoon force, just waiting on his Reavers at this point. I feel as soon as he's gotten a decent sized. Wonder how many observers he can get in before anything else. Let's see, Temple Archives and Forge on the opposite side for Shuttle. So yeah, he's probably, I think, in the gateways. So he's probably just going to pump an army. Going to go on 4 gateways now.